Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I want to do a quick little video on why bad things happen to us. I have been hearing this so many times over the past month that it's starting to drive me a little bit crazy, but I understand why so many people think that bad things happen to them, especially in a limited mindset, because really you have to understand that bad things don't happen to you. Experiences happen to you, and that in itself is the limited aspect, the limited perception that we all carry, is that when we judge something, an idea, an experience, a person, a place, a thing, as good or bad, right or wrong, positive, negative, backwards, forwards, better, worse, my 5 no-nos that I always teach, we limit ourselves in our perception, and that creates confusion, that creates emotion, that creates limitation. And so we start to judge experiences as, well, this is either good for me or this is bad for me, this is right for me or this is wrong for me. But true consciousness doesn't label experiences as bad, because again, remember, it's a judgment. We're judging something based on a limitation that we perceive, because life hasn't taught us anything other than what we're supposed to understand, right? If we're truly honest about everything, life prepares us for school, right? It prepares us to go to work. We go to school from 0 to 18, even into college, and then we go out and get a job, and that's it. So when it comes to our emotions, when it comes to understanding relationships, people, ourselves, we don't really have an understanding. So society has taught us if something feels good, then it's right for us. It's positive. It's good for us. But if it feels bad for us, or it hurts us, or it makes us feel sad or depressed, well, we have to stay away from it because that's negative and that's bad. And that is such a very limited way of looking at things. Remember that in consciousness, in order for you to grow, there has to be some sort of friction. Friction has to happen. And I want you to think about this, because consciousness always grows through contrast. And so if you think about, let's take a moment and think about all the things that happen in our life. And I'm going to use my life as an example, because as you guys know, the last 6 years I went through a lot of health issues, a lot of transformation, going through the 5D transformation, the evolution. I'm still going through it. I just had a very powerful meditation that it took me about 2 hours to get out of it. Like, I was struggling to breathe. I was struggling to take a shower and get ready for the day, because the vibrational frequency was changing my body, and my body was struggling to keep up. But let's take what happened to me the last 6 years. I got really sick, right? And I almost died several times. And in those, not just the ego deaths, but the physical deaths and the health issues and everything. When I tell this to people, most people's reaction is, "Oh, Raina, I feel so sorry for you. Oh, poor thing, you had to go through that." Because in their mindset, that's bad. That friction, that contrast was bad. And it's a judgment. It wasn't right for me because it hurt me. But in reality, I look at it as a conscious way of saying, well, no, it sucked. Yes, it did suck, and it was a really rough time, but I'm so grateful for that, because that experience allowed me to slow everything down, detach from everything that I was attached to, just destroy, demolish all belief systems, all thoughts, all ideas of who I was, what I was doing, what I was about, and really level the old house that was built from my childhood, and that everything I've built up until that point. And so my consciousness was able to grow because of that contrast. And I get it. I understand why difficult experiences tend to break our identity, because that's its very nature. Our very nature, to bring ourselves into alignment, is to have life create friction, to have it create contrast, so that we can see another perspective of what it is we are here to learn. And that's the most wonderful thing, right? Because if you think about it, yes, my time during the last 6 years was really tough, and it was not fun, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Why? Because look at the place it brought me to now. And I'm so grateful for it. Every experience that I was going through and every experience that you are going through that you deem bad is moving you towards your alignment. Because when something is out of alignment, when you're stuck in belief systems, when you're stuck in the victimhood, when you're stuck in something that is creating a pattern or a loop of behavior that is creating misalignment to your soul, well, life has to interject, and you agreed to this. You told your higher self, well, you are your higher self, but you as a soul comes here with your blueprint, and we go through our patterns. And during that time, if we are not aligning with ourselves, well, then life has to realign us. It has to kind of shake us up and say, hey, wake up, because we need to move towards alignment. And so I really want us to realize that when we look at things like loss, like especially in a relationship, because I know many people have said, yo, Raina, I have one of the things that sucks about this bad experience is I dated this person for so long. I really thought that they were the one, and it turned out that they were nothing that I thought. And this loss really hurts me, and I hate going through this. I never want to date again. But that loss removed what was no longer resonating, because you as a person chose to see things how you wanted to see because something inside of you was lacking. And so we choose terrible relationships, people who aren't good for us, people who don't align with us, people who cause chaos in situations, jobs, etc., whatever the situation, that don't resonate with us, because we'd rather have something than nothing at all, because we haven't dealt with our loneliness or the things that haunt us in our mind. And so life said, okay, I'm going to let you play the part for a little bit, but then after a while, we have to shake it back up because this no longer resonates. Or even when you've changed, how many of you have gone through a transformation like myself, and all of a sudden, nobody around you no longer resonates with you? And it can feel like a very lonely spot. I struggle with it from time to time, where I look around, I see all these people, they have friends and families and lives and doing everything and all connecting. And no matter where I go, what I do, there I am by myself. And I love myself, and I love my me time, and I love it. But still, as a person, I still crave connection. I still crave the joy of having friends and everything and sharing my experiences. And when I can't speak, when I can't do these things, because I look around and nobody resonates. So it's not a bad experience. It's just changing. And now I have to shift my alignment from, okay, these people and these things no longer align with me, to who and what aligns with me now. And that's what I'm looking forward to. And how exciting is that? Because honestly, I really am. I love my time here in Florida. I know it's coming to an end whenever it does. I know I've been saying that for a while, but I know eventually it will. And I'm excited. I love the weather here. I love the state, but the people and the place that I live in is just not a conscious place. Doesn't make anyone better or worse than anyone else, good or bad. It's just different. And what I used to resonate is no longer resonating now. And now I'm looking for new adventures. And that's the great thing about these experiences that we call bad. So remember, nothing bad is happening to us. Nothing is taken from you. It's just whether you're aligned at specific times. That's why we come together in relationships, and then we drift apart when they're no longer alignment, or when the lessons are done. And same with jobs, same with family, same with places we live. How many times have you moved to different places? Maybe you never have. Maybe you're too afraid to, because you're wondering, well, what if I move out and something bad happens to me or something? And well, guess what? I've moved all over this country, and there was many places that I thought I was going to really like, and I liked it for about the first 5 or 6 months, and then I was living there, and all of a sudden I was like, nope, this isn't the place for me, and I'd pack up and I'd go. It's okay to try new things, because that's what finding our alignment is. That's what's finding out who we are, because life and you are refining your awareness. Remember, it's always about awareness of self. Who am I in these moments? Who am I with these people? Who am I with this job? Who am I with what I do? Who am I with what I am enjoying in myself? If it's not comfortable, that's okay, because that's telling me something. Instead of being instead of looking things as a punishment, like pain is a punishment, bad things are a punishment, look at it as your higher self and yourself are communicating with you to, hey, is this aligned with me? Is this not aligned with me? Why is this such a struggle? Or why am I having so many issues with this person or place or thing or whatever it is? Because pain and chaos signal misalignment. Resistance itself intensifies the pain, and that's the thing that we're fighting, right? Because the moment we have pain, the moment we have judgment on bad experiences, or this isn't good, or this is negative, even though there's no such thing, and that we resist, and that creates more chaos. Instead of allowing us to accept and say, hey, this is a great thing. This is, what am I learning here? We resist and say, no, because society has taught us that's negative. Stay away from it. No, go towards it. It's not negative. It's not positive. It's not good. It's not bad. It's not right. It's not wrong. It just is. So go towards it and ask itself, why is this causing me pain? Even though I don't like it, what is it teaching me? What am I missing? What am I not listening to? What is my ego so attached to with this person, place, or thing or idea that I need to learn to let go and change it? Because the moment you start doing that, that's when the shift happens. That's when it changes from, why is this happening to me, to, what is this revealing about me? And that in itself is consciousness. Not going to other planets, talking to aliens, talking to living on a different world or universe, or going interdimensional, having out-of-body experience. That's not consciousness. This is consciousness. The realization of self, the stopping of being the victim and becoming a witness to who you are and what your experience is. Remember that duality is a mechanism of consciousness that shows us, because, right, we wouldn't know daytime if there was only night, or we wouldn't know nighttime if there was only day. We wouldn't know joy if there wasn't sadness, right? We wouldn't know male if female, etc. So we have to have it in this third dimensional. We have to have contrast. We have to have duality. We have to have different perspectives to show us. Remember that our life dissolves illusions. Everything that we're experiencing, including these bodies and everything, isn't real. It all is fake, and it will all fall away. It all dissolves, because anything fake breaks down. It dissipates. Anything real lasts forever, which is why we are eternal. And once we understand that nothing is happening to you, but everything is happening for your evolution, that's when we start to change. All right, everybody. I'm keeping it short today, so we will see you in the next video, and thank you so much for joining us.